Welcome! This is the first of a two-part series that will show you invoicing setups added and enhanced in the 57 release. And since there are quite a number of them, we're going to move quickly. So let's start with the ability to set up a list of special accounts per counterperson that can be quickly found at point of sale without having to search through all customers. So this might be really useful for finding a select few of high-volume customers, or some that require more attention, or even to increase customer satisfaction by keeping these customers handy. There's no limit to how many customers can be added to the list, or restrictions on removing them, and since each list is employee-specific, each counterperson can have their own list of special customers. So let's go to the Controls, System, Employee Setup screen to show how to set up the list. Each employee can add their own if the employee setup My Accounts Security Proc is enabled. So assuming it is, click the My Accounts button and a pop-up opens to add and delete customers. So click the Add button and select the ones you want to add to the list and move them up and down in any order that works for you. And the only thing that's different here is a field called Start POS in Catalog, which defaults to No. But if you check it when the customer is found at point of sale, the catalog screen immediately opens without having to click the button or hit F6. So let's try it. When you start a new invoice, either hit Tab from the Customer Lookup field or click the My Accounts drop-down to get your list of special customers. The system assumes you are the one who's logged in, so that's the list it displays. And by the way, this list is cached in memory, so any changes to the list are available for the next invoice. And if you don't have a list set up, the My Accounts field doesn't show. So select a customer from the list, and depending on the Start POS in Catalog field, if it's set to No, the customer will be loaded, and all existing POS functionality will be available, and if it were set to Yes, then the Catalog screen opens. And once the customer is in focus, the My Accounts field is hidden. So next, let's go to controls that are set up on the System General Setup screen. The Point of Sale button section is used to display or hide some of the buttons at point of sale, so you can pick the ones you want to use. The Invoice and Slip buttons are a pair and must display together. Likewise, the On Account and Pay Now buttons are another pair that must display together. So pick the set that works best for you. And since both the Reserve button and the Whip button display in the same spot on the screen, you can only use one of them, so check the one you want to use. Same with the Hold and Coupon buttons. And if you don't want to use either, uncheck both. And just so you know, if you plan on using the new promotional pricing and may want to have promotions that need coupons, then the Coupon button has to be available. And if you want to allow hold tickets and use promotional coupons, then enable the Coupon button. And tickets can still be put on hold by hitting the Escape key or enable the Whip button. And the tickets are put on hold as work in progress. But if you want to allow hold tickets and use promotional coupons, then enable the Coupon button, and tickets can still be put on hold by hitting the Escape key, but only if the next setup allows hold tickets. So we'll take a look at that one in a bit. But you can also enable the Whip button, and tickets are put on hold as a work in progress. Okay, now, the Allow Hold status setup prevents or allows you to exit out of a sales order in process by clicking the Hold button. So now, instead of always allowing tickets to be put on hold to be finished later, if the setup's unchecked, then tickets must be printed as quotes, picks, deposits, etc., or canceled before starting another ticket. And if there's at least one sourced item, buyout or dropship, on the invoice, depending on the require finished for sourced items setup, instead of having to finish or finalize or cancel the ticket, you'll be allowed to exit a sales order with sourced items by clicking quote, pick, whip, or pack. And if the Allow Hold status is enabled, you can also exit by clicking Hold or Close or pressing the Escape button. And while we're talking about sourced items, the Ctrl+D pop-up has been modified to indicate the sell price level and percent, even for sourced pricing that was applied to the item. It doesn't indicate any discounts from pricing plans that were overridden by the sourced pricing. And then a system level switch, if enabled, displays the VCO replacement part number below the description field on the invoicing screen. When a part number is entered on a sales order that has a VCO replacement part, the same way supersedes and alternates display. The switch does not display in PartsWatch, so talk to customer support if you'd like it enabled. We're going to stop here and pick up where we left off with the invoicing setup changes in the 57 release in the second video in this series, so be sure to watch that one next. And if you have questions with anything you've seen so far, please check F1 Help or contact customer support for assistance. And thanks for joining us.